In today's video, 3 steps to growing a thriving coaching culture, an introduction to the Thrive model for sustainable instructional coaching. Hello, coaches. Welcome back to another episode of Coach Better Quick Tips. My name is Kim Gaffino, and I've worked with hundreds of teachers, coaches, and leaders in schools around the world to help them create thriving and sustainable instructional coaching programs. And I'm on a mission to help you coach better. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. Come learn with me in one of our courses or private mentoring packages designed specifically for instructional coaches. Join our global Coach Better community and find all of our resources for instructional coaches on our website at coachbetter.tv. You can also find us on social media at Eduro Learning or at our Coach Better Facebook group, and subscribe here to our YouTube channel to catch all of our latest videos. Not sure where to start? Take our free quiz to get a tailored list of free resources delivered straight to you and designed specifically for your level of coaching mastery. Find it at coachbetter.tv/quiz. In today's episode, we're talking about the 3 elements necessary for instructional coaching to thrive and to be sustainable over time. It's easy to think that once coaches are hired and a coaching program is established, that a coaching culture will grow. But if you've been coaching for any length of time, you know that it doesn't really work like that. It takes a lot of intentional and strategic work to grow a coaching culture, and you need to build in systems and structures to make it sustainable over time. Today, we're going to talk about how to do exactly that, following the Thrive model for sustainable instructional coaching. The Thrive model brings together all of my own experience as an instructional coach and building coaching programs in many schools, as well as the experience of my clients and the expert guests I've interviewed here on the podcast. We use this model to structure all of our courses for coaches, and in particular, the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program, which opens for registration annually. See more details on the website here at edurolearning.com/coach. You'll get an overview of the model in this episode and how the 3 elements of clarity, consistency, and community can be used to develop coaching programs, evaluate and refine existing programs, and support you in developing your own individual practice as a coach. With the Thrive model, we are intentionally designing for a culture of belonging through coaching with both the micro view of your coaching practice and the macro view of your coaching program. After you listen, you might want to learn more about the Thrive model. Head over to our website at edurolearning.com/thrive to find out all about it, plus get access to a free webinar, our coaching program evaluation, and a downloadable overview of the model, so you can start building a thriving coaching culture in your school community today. Okay, let's jump into the episode. Based on conversations I've been having in workshops, webinars, and with clients, and here on the Coach Better podcast, instructional coaching is on the rise in international schools, and this is wonderful and exciting. Our schools are committed to improving student learning, and one of the most impactful ways we can do that is through instructional coaching. Watch my previous Coach Better Quick Tips called 5 Reasons Instructional Coaches Are Essential in Schools for more on that topic. I also have another quick tip about 10 reasons why instructional coaching is the key to sustainable professional growth. I'll link both of those here for you. Ultimately, when teachers feel appreciated, valued, and respected in their work, it leads to improved relationships, enhanced well-being, and improved teaching outcomes. One of the best ways schools can support and show appreciation for teachers to build this collective efficacy is to value their professional growth and provide them the support and time they need to be successful in their roles. However, every school, and especially each international school, is unique based on its individual school community, its host country culture, its school governance and structure, and therefore there's no one-size-fits-all instructional coaching model that will work for every international school in every context. That's why I developed the Thrive model, which is grounded in the work of Joellen Killian, Cindy Harrison, Heather Clifton, Laura Lipton, and Bruce Wellman, and provides enough flexibility and opportunity for customization for each unique school community while consistently leading to successful instructional coaching that's sustainable over time. This model was developed based on my own experience developing coaching programs in multiple schools, as well as my work with my clients in the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program over the past decade. After working with hundreds of coaches, educators, and leaders in schools around the world, it is very clear what schools and coaches, particularly in international schools, need to ensure that instructional coaching can thrive and be sustainable over time. And that's what I put into the Thrive model. The Thrive model, which is also used as the foundation for the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program, more details at edurolearning.com/coach, follows 3 key phases: clarity, consistency, and community. I'm going to break down each of those 3 phases now, starting with number 1, clarity. Instructional coaching programs that are successful have clarity. With clarity comes purpose. Clarity allows us to define expectations, communicate and implement the work based on the defined expectations, and then measure the results. Schools need clarity in terms of your vision, mission, and goals for the coaching program. Define terms for words that we use, including the phrase instructional coaching and a definition for what that means. The philosophy and model for the coaching process. The hiring intentions define roles and expectations for coaches. Clarity around the alignment with school leaders on what coaching is and is not, and leaders having a shared expectation of coaches. And finally, we need a champion for coaching at the leadership level. The success of a coaching program relies on a shared understanding of our intentions behind the program and our intentionality in defining all of that. Because the word coaching can have many definitions to many different people, the simple act of defining the word, along with the purpose of the program, can ensure that all stakeholders have a shared understanding of coaching in this particular context. I define instructional coaching as a formal or informal process that is non-evaluative and confidential and not tied to appraisal, that starts with teacher goals, usually for student learning, and is invitational for teachers to access. It involves a cycle, structure, or system of self-reflection. It operates as close to the classroom as possible, with observation, co-teaching, or modeling as a central part of the experience. Phrased slightly differently, instructional coaching is a structured, non-evaluative, reflective, confidential process that takes place over time based on actual data and observation of in-classroom experiences, in partnership with the teacher and supported by an instructional coach who is also part of the school community. There's more on this in another Coach Better quick tips about the importance of clarity in your coaching role. When schools have a vision of a growth-minded, learning-focused organization, coaching can support that goal. In episode 150 of this podcast, Laura Lipton highlights that there needs to be a vision of learning and growth that is identical for everyone in the organization. So whenever anyone is called upon to serve in their role, it should be calibrated to that vision of learning and growth. She recommends that as school leaders are developing coaching programs, they ask themselves, to what degree does this align with the greater vision? This alignment can provide clarity in the work that coaches do and in the structure of the coaching program. Taking the time to intentionally structure the coaching program so that it aligns with the school vision provides an essential foundation to build a coaching culture, which supports the work of coaches. On another episode on this podcast, it's number 174, the coach mentor Maggie Haas-McGrain said, people who move into a coaching role need clarity about what the job entails, and the people in the school need clarity, and the leaders need clarity. Sometimes this involves quite hard conversations with school leaders. All of those conversations require clarity from the start. Many of the challenges faced by instructional coaches in international schools might seem to be caused by things like teacher reluctance to participate, or maybe school leaders assigning coaches many other duties aside from coaching. But this is often very simply the result of a lack of clarity in the development or communication of the program. As Joellen Killian said in episode 146, if I can describe it with specificity, it's far more likely to be achieved than if I don't have the capacity to be specific. More time on the what and less time on the how. We do that backwards in schools. We spend a lot of time on the how without clarity on the what. Spending time to develop clarity around the language and purpose before taking action is essential to the establishment of a successful coaching program. Before we move on to number 2, I'd like to invite you to just take a moment and think about where do you have clarity and where might you need more clarity in your coaching program or even your coaching practice right now. All right, number 2 is consistency. Consistency clarifies expectations. When you are able to implement coaching with consistency, you can demonstrate to teachers why they might want to opt in to coaching with you. A consistent coaching program looks like coaches using data from a needs assessment and regular feedback about their practice to inform their work. The role of the coach and the process of coaching is clearly and consistently communicated regularly to develop a shared understanding. Coaches follow a similar coaching process and cycle while personalizing experiences for each teacher. Teacher expectations of coaches are clear and the experience is repeatable for them. Coaches are scheduled to primarily do coaching work and not other things like extra duties or subcover exam supervision or going on every field trip. Coaches are provided with professional learning opportunities specifically designed for coaches to continue to develop their coaching skills. Consistency in implementation of a coaching model is the action of building trust in the coaching process. Although each coach will come to the school with their unique style, personality, and expertise, following a framework allows teachers to develop an understanding of the outcome of their time spent in coaching conversations. For teachers to opt in, to invest their time in coaching, they need to have a clear understanding of what to expect. As Diane Sweeney said on episode 114 of this podcast, coaching needs to be consistent. Teachers need to know that there's a predictable structure to this work. Consistency in the coaching team ensures that teachers will have similar, although personalized experiences, so they know what to expect when working with a coach. Personalized, consistent experiences enable teachers to recognize the value of coaching and to be comfortable with this process. Before we move on to number 3, I'd like to invite you to take a moment to think about where you have consistency in your practice and your program and the implementation of coaching, and where you might have room to continue to grow. All right, let's look at number 3, community. Community grows culture. When coaches can begin to develop connections between teachers to build capacity within staff, they will build the foundations for a coaching culture. When schools create a culture of coaching, they are developing an environment where all educators are invested in their own professional growth and actively seek out coaching opportunities. This culture is sustained by school-supported structures and systems that are implemented to create space, time, and respect for the coaching process. When we're talking about collective efficacy on teams in a school, this is what coaching builds. A thriving coaching community looks like coaching taking place on a variety of levels, individual, team, school-wide. Coaches are engaging in conversations about teaching and learning with a variety of stakeholders across subject areas and grade levels, and with school leaders as well as teaching assistants. Teachers and other educators in the community, including assistants, specialists, and school leaders, are actively seeking out coaching. Coaches are able to build capacity among community members by connecting teachers to each other. Data is collected regarding the impact of coaching, and the program and coaches are evaluated separately. Both coaches and the coaching program are regularly evaluated, and the program is continually refined and communicated with all community members. Coaches are provided professional learning to continue to grow into their coaching role. Ultimately, coaching creates a sense of belonging among all stakeholders, where teachers feel valued, heard, and respected for the professionals that they are, which then transfers to classroom learning with students. In her experience as middle school assistant principal at the International School of Panama, Caitlin Patanga said in episode 215 of this podcast, the impact of coaching is a sense of belonging, noting that her school culture is so collaborative around teaching and learning through the work of coaching that both teachers and students feel like they belong. Creating a safe space for teachers to explore, take risks, and be supported in their journey, along with a deep respect for the work that teachers and students are doing, develops that sense of collective efficacy and belonging. It's often having a personal relationship with a coach, developed and sustained over time that can make a difference for teachers seeking to turn inspiration into action in their classroom. In an article I wrote for The Learning Professional from Learning Forward, I said, "When we invest in coaches, we are investing in teachers." Coaches can help teachers feel like they have someone on their side who's dedicated to their professional growth, someone embedded in their workplace who helps empower them to take action, and someone who can individualize growth experiences for them so they can apply what they're learning. When coaches begin to leverage the work they do with individuals to teams and groups, the culture of coaching spreads even more widely. Developing school-wide structures that support instructional coaching through systems like prioritizing shared meeting times, bringing coaches into the curriculum review and planning process, and formalizing support for coaching through the schedule are essential to sustaining a coaching culture over time. Before we wrap up, I'd like to invite you to take a moment to think about where you have success in building community in your coaching program and where you might have room to grow over the next academic year. All right, you've heard the 3 phases of the Thrive model: clarity, consistency, and community. When we put all those together into a graphic, it's like a 3-part Venn diagram. And it's worth noting that most schools develop coaching programs organically, making progress on each phase of the Thrive model simultaneously, which can lead to potential gaps in program development. When schools have a growth-minded community and consistency in coaching practice, but a lack of clarity around the vision for coaching, which is most common, this often results in teacher reluctance to participate in coaching, or what I call a vision gap. When schools have consistency in practice and clarity in vision, but a lack of a growth-minded culture or a more compliance-driven culture, this often leads to coaches working almost exclusively with the willing teachers and being stuck working at the individual level, or what I call a growth gap. When schools have clarity around coaching and a growth-minded culture, but a lack of consistency among coaches or coaching practice, this often results in little to no impact from coaching, or what I call a consistency gap. These gaps can be closed through an audit or evaluation of the coaching program that intentionally addresses the missing components in each phase of the Thrive model. You can find that evaluation on our website at edurolearning.com/thrive. All 3 of the components of the Thrive model are interdependent on one another. You need all 3 to develop a thriving and successful and sustainable coaching culture. All schools with learning as their focus have the potential to build a thriving coaching culture. You just need to know what you have and what you're missing. Building a thriving culture requires bringing the 3 interdependent elements of clarity, consistency, and community together. Doesn't really matter where you start. As long as you're working towards defining and building clarity, consistency, and community in your program, you are on the right track. If you're just beginning the journey to develop a coaching program, set yourself up for success by following the Thrive model of clarity, consistency, and community. If a coaching program exists in your school, but you find yourself stuck in one of the gaps, you can use the Thrive model to understand where you may need to place more attention and focus. If you are ready to dig deeper into the Thrive model and to reflect on your coaching program and your practice, make sure to access all of our free resources on our website. You'll find a webinar, a downloadable overview of the model, and our coaching program evaluation to see where you or your program has opportunities for growth. You can find them all at edurolearning.com/thrive. And if you discover that you need support as you go through this process, please join us for the next cohort of the Coach Certificate and Mentorship Program. In the Coach, we'll support you in developing your coaching practice and program following the Thrive model. We will go deeper into all aspects of each of these phases throughout the academic year-long program. Find out more about the Coach on our website at edurolearning.com/coach. As you know, registration opens only once a year, so make sure you get on the waiting list so you're the first to know when registration opens again. Get all the details and join the waitlist at edurolearning.com/coach. When you join us for the academic year of learning inside the Coach, not only do you get access to all of the deep learning on the Thrive model, but you get a community of coaches around the world to build your own professional learning network and learn more about what instructional coaching looks like in schools around the world. And you get the support of a mentor for the entire academic year to completely personalize the experience for you, your needs, and your specific school setting. Get all the details and join the waiting list at edurolearning.com/coach. Wherever you are in your coaching journey, we can support you. If you're curious right now and you have questions, please reach out. You can leave a comment down below or on the show notes on our website at coachbetter.tv. You can join our Coach Better Facebook group, or you can find us on social media at Eduro Learning and send me a DM. I'd love to support you on your coaching journey. See you next time.